Keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know. No, 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 no. Nobody. We can keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know. No, 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 no. Nobody. I ain't listened to that tune in ages. Did you know about that tune? Do people understand the whole history behind that tune? About 6 months after that tune came out, people discovered that there was a term in America called the down low. And the down low described homo thugs. It described thugs and gangsters that were in America at the time. And they were living a double lifestyle. So during the day, they were walking around as thugs, tough guys, drug dealers, all kinds of things. They had women, they had kids, but at night time, they would suddenly jump up out night time, basically, they would go exploring, and they weren't going exploring for female prostitutes. They were going exploring for gay relationships, or should I say, gay intercourse. They were exploring for transsexuals, and the term was used DL because, as far as people knew, these guys were straight, but at night time, they were living a double life. Okay, and they called it down low. And when R. Kelly sang that song, people didn't understand what he was really talking about. But funny enough, that was around the same time as well that Eddie Murphy. He was found with a tranny, and he claimed that the reason why he would pick up trannies was he was preparing for the role of his, like the nutty professor who's playing multiple roles. He was saying that he was preparing for those roles, so he would pick up trannies and things like that. But what I'm here to tell you is that, going back from the last video where it was a bit, don't get me wrong, the last video I was going a little bit too far. It would come across as I was taking, like I was taking the piss and everything else. I'm not taking the piss. I'm generally saying to you from the last video, and I want you to listen very carefully. Let me kind of clear it up. I personally do not believe that a straight man, with all his facets, all his faculties, with all his marbles, with the right lifestyle, the right teachings, the right upbringing, the right so let me put it this way. I'm going to do another video after this, and it's called The Fragile Mind. Yeah, so let's look at the opposite of a fragile mind. I do not believe that someone that is strong, that has been raised the right way, would end up with someone that was transgendered. It's as simple as that. And I believe if such a person did do it, then either B, they're broken, which I will go into in the next video, or A, they are bisexual. But whether they're broken or bisexual doesn't really make a difference, because it's the same thing. Both are one in another. Although you can be broken and not necessarily engage in bisexuality, because you can be broken, run along the street naked, clucking like a chicken. You can castrate yourself. I was watching something on YouTube where a rapper castrated himself because he was broken. I was telling a friend that I remember a girl walking through my like a Whitgift centre, like a big shopping mall, and she was walking through it, and she was punching herself in the head. She literally lost it. Many things can happen when you're broken. I tried to explain this in my slander video. When you're broken, you're open to anything. Anything is possible. In the next video, I'm going to say what kind of things could break you, to lead you down that path. For example, there was a guy when I was doing my NoFap video, and I was on my second or third month. I came across one guy that no longer does videos, but I have to give it to him. He was a don. This guy was a don because he was honest. He was honest about certain things. He was, yeah, maybe a little bit too honest. And there's certain no fappers out there that know, you know what I'm talking about. And again, I'm not here to poke you. The same way I'm not here to poke members of the LGBTQ community. I'm not here to poke you. I love honesty. I admire honesty. Believe me, I love it. I love honesty, so I respect you, bro. I think you've done the utmost. I'm just gonna explain your story now from what I get. Right, so if we go back about a year and a month ago, so what, 13 months ago, I stumbled across the video of this guy, and he was saying that in the beginning, when he first started watching porn, he was watching things like lesbians, and he was really attracted to two lesbians. And then sooner or later, it just wasn't enough. So he went from that to straight porn, man and a woman having sex with each other. And then he said it kind of escalated to that. Remember, this is 13 months ago, so I can't tell you word for word what the dude said. I did try to find the video the other day, actually. I couldn't find it again because he's done quite a few videos. I wasn't going to go through every single video trying to find it, but I remember hearing it. He then escalated into, you know, things that slightly more extreme, and then finally he ended up on tranny porn. And he said he began basically fornicating over tranny porn, and it was amazing to hear someone sit down there and say those things. But funny enough, the members of the NoFap community weren't harsh on the guy. They weren't oh, you know, they were very gentle with the guy. They were very, if anything, I admire his rawness. The people I know, you couldn't be that open. So this is what I have to say to the guy: you were done, bruv. It's funny actually, because like I preached about in my different worlds videos, you know, I said there's many different worlds out there. I said, you know, the guy sitting beside you at work, you know, he may be fantasizing about his neighbor's daughter that's 15 years old, you know, because of the type of porn he's been watching, schoolgirl porn and this and that. The woman sitting beside you may be fantasizing over bestiality porn. The guy beside her may be fantasizing over midget porn. The reality of it is, there's a lot of people out there fantasizing about a lot of things, but guess what? That's their own. We don't know, and we never will know. The only person that can judge them is God. That's the only person that can judge them. That's why the whole judging game, I try to kind of lay back on it, because the reality of it is that there's a lot of people that have a lot of twisted thoughts. We just don't know, and we never will know, because a fantasy is your own. You know, there's nothing wrong with a fantasy. It's when you take that fantasy to another level, which goes back to the whole transgender thing. You know, I could walk into a bar and there could be a group of girls. Two of them are natural looking beautiful women, another one's a third one, but she's transgender, she's beautiful. I'm talking to all three of them, I'm having a laugh with all three of them. All three of them look sexy, all three of them look beautiful. I'm having a laugh with them. As far as I'm concerned, they're girls, right? But from the moment that I know one of them is transgender, and I suddenly make the choice of going with a transgender girl, when I know that she's a man, I can't call myself bisexual. Sorry, I can't call myself straight after that. So the point I make is there's a difference between thinking about it, because no one knows what you're thinking about. You know, we have a habit in this world of judging people for being open and honest, but that forces people to lie. You know, it's kind of like the whole Terry Crews situation. Terry Crews grew a pair of balls, and he came out and he said, listen, some guy tried to sexually molest me. People blasted Terry, mate. They blasted the hell out of Terry Crews, made him look like he was some sort of punk. 50 Cent was on him, calling him weak. He's just been, the whole nation has gunned him. He's been looked down on by black women, everything, and I think it's kind of wrong. So I think that, you know, he had some balls and he came out and he said it. I respect people for being honest. You know, I don't hate Terry Crews. I think he's a don. I think that he's done the right thing. He came out and he done it. But anyway, getting back to this whole yeah, so the last thing I say is this: there's a lot of people out there with all kinds of things in their heads and this and that, but they won't say it. You know, I've met people that will actually put you down. They'll abuse the living crap at you. They say, what, you watch porn? Man, that's sick, bruv. You're a loser. And then maybe one day you go to their house several years later and they've left some sort of porn tape lying around or some porn CD, and you say, wait a minute here, but you were calling me this, you try to embarrass me in front of girls, but you're so. In my life, I've seen nothing but hypocrites, so I don't judge people, and I don't really care if people judge me. But one thing I am is real. Getting back for this transgender, this guy now, he's watching this, he's led to him watching this tranny sex. I don't know what to say about that, what I will say is that I have stumbled across some things that I shouldn't have stumbled across, and I have seen some graphic things. Bestiality porn being one of them. I've seen some disgusting things. I really have. I have. In regards to the tranny porn, the guy, he didn't beat himself up, and he shouldn't. I think that had he have crossed the line and he actually had sex with the tranny or went out there looking for it, then you can't cross that line. I think he would have been classed as bisexual, and that you don't go back from being bisexual. You don't walk into a hotel room knowing that the person you're having sex with has a penis, and you engage in sex with that, and then wake up the next day and say, oh no, I'll just turn myself the other way around. I'll no longer be attracted to the same sex or the same body parts as me. You don't do that. You can't just turn it on. It's not a light switch. You are from that point bisexual. But I still believe at the same time that even if someone's had the operation where it doesn't, from what I've seen, because I've seen programs on normal TV, even after they had the operation, it still doesn't resemble women's body parts. It doesn't resemble a true vagina, basically. It doesn't resemble that. And with those women, some of those women, when they stop taking the hormone pills, the facial hair comes back and things like that. There's no way, me personally, I'm sorry. I know there's certain guys out there that are very, again, they're very open, like what I've described in the title of this video, open, but open / broken. They're broken men. And that's what this next video is going to be about. What else I was going to say? Yeah, so I think I'll explain about the bar thing. Yeah, so in the bar, there would be nothing wrong with me sitting down having a laugh with 3 of these girls, and one of them was a tranny or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not gonna be like, for example, in the UK, there is this Rasta man in the UK, and this happened quite a long while back, probably about 10 years ago. When pink suddenly came into fashion, and what happened is there was this guy that was walking down the road with a pink t-shirt, and this Rasta man took offense to it. He's like, "They bomb my club, boy!" So he pulls out some sort of knife, and he runs up to the guy, and he literally stabs the guy. It's a true story, because the guy was wearing pink. You know what I mean? No, that's not that. I'm not that kind of dude. Even if I did have that kind of hatred, which I don't, then I would say, you stay over there and I stay over here, and I try my best to avoid them. For example, like racists, I believe that we all have to live in this world together. So if I really did hate a transsexual or racist, I'd say I just try to limit my interactions as much as possible with that person. But I'm not going to try and stab him and kill him and all of that kind of stuff. So if I was in that bar or whatever, and I felt that I was really, disgusted by it, I would just go over to another table. But I can tell you, as a straight guy, I would sit down, I would have a laugh with them. I wouldn't feel anything bad about it whatsoever. And some of these transsexuals really do look like women and everything else. I wouldn't feel bad if there was a possibility that I actually did get turned on by looking at one of them. I wouldn't feel bad about it. I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. But one thing I can promise you, that I would never engage in any kind of touching, physical, this or that, text exchange numbers or this or that. That's not what I'm about. And this is me being 100% honest. I believe as a man, we're attracted to things that look like women. But us actually going as far as participating in it is something different. And that's why there's certain men where they've gone out there, they've been drunk, they may have even done drugs, they pulled some sort of tranny, and their vision is blurry, so it's not 100%. They've gone back to a hotel room, they've suddenly started to engage with this person, they've felt down there, and they've realized that, wait a minute here, they haven't had this sexual operation, this is a full man, there's no hiding here, you're a man. And then they've gone ballistic, they've gone for some gun or weapon, they've gone to kill this person. They've said, why didn't you tell me? But the point I'm making is, initially they were attracted to this person because they thought it was a female. That's the point that I'm getting at. Okay, it doesn't mean that they're gay, it means that they were fooled by someone that looked visually like a female. Right, so the next video is going to be how broken or the fragile mind can lead to bisexuality. Right, peace out guys.